The structural load is approaching maximum capacity tonight. The pillars are under intense, localized physical tension. No safety nets available, no backup columns, no relief crews. Nobody is coming to lift a single pound of this cargo off my back. I am holding up the entire infrastructure of this weight completely on my own. Lock the joints, secure the frame. Hold the line!
Stacking up the heavy metrics directly on the spine, operating perfectly on the maximum load line. The pressure is a mountain sitting hard on top of chest, an absolute eternal non-stop physical stress test. I can hear the main support beam starting to flex and bend, a continuous trajectory that seems to never end. The ribbons are under tension, the concrete is running hot, but I am holding the coordinates of this exact spot. They wanted to see the chassis crumble down into the dirt, translating the gravity right into the psychological hurt. But I lock the joints tightly, I brace the iron frame, carrying the full-scale execution of the family name. No assistance requested, no handouts down on the floor, just a lonely pillar standing in the middle of the wall. The weight is monumental, a terrifying physical force, maintaining the absolute alignment of the structural course. The shoulders are bruised heavy, the muscles are tight as stone, navigating the parameters entirely securely alone. Every single crisis is another brick on the stack, but the titanium foundation never splits down the back. I absorb the impact velocity, clear out the empty space, a look of absolute cold-blooded focus frozen on the face. They waiting for the breakdown, waiting for the system to drop, but the internal combustion engine is never gonna stop.
The gauge is in the red, the needles start to fly.
Holding up the heavy ceiling underneath the dark sky.
No release valve available, the cylinder must pack.
There is absolutely no way of me turning back. The structural load,
The burden is deep,
the heaviest disaster that I constantly reap.
the pillars are groaning, but the foundation is stone.
Holding up the mountain completely alone.
No turning back now, the matter is red.
Carrying the cargo inside of the head.
It didn't stop with the initial weight. The gravity is multiplying by the second. The masonry is groaning. Keep the throttle pinned, 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 pinned.
The columns are bowing out under the catastrophic strain, converting the friction directly into the power campaign. No sleeping allowed on the watch, no letting up steam, protecting the absolute framework of the survival dream. The environment is freezing, the indicators are bright, sovereign independent executioner in middle of night.
The gauge is in the red, the needles start to fly.
Holding up the heavy ceiling underneath the dark sky.
No release valve available, the cylinder must pack.
There is absolutely no way of me turning back. The structural load,
The burden is deep,
the heaviest disaster that I constantly reap.
the pillars are groaning, but the foundation is stone.
Holding up the mountain completely alone.
No turning back now, the mirror is red.
Carrying the cargo inside of the head.
The friction is locked into the grid. Every single support joint is crying out under the compression force. The people relying on me don't see the fractures in the masonry. They just see a wall that doesn't move. So I turn the nerve endings off and let the steel take over. Increase the RPM.
Grid is active, running hot inside the frame, systematically enduring the letters of the heavy blame. The never guessing the structural fatigue on the baseline line. I carry the full weight of their survival on my back, ensuring the locomotive engine never derails off the track. The parameters are clinical, the parameters are clear, eradicating the final drops of the proximity fear. I am a functional fortress standing straight in the freeze, refusing to drop down onto my cracking knees.
The cables are snapping, the tension is hitting the peak. The outlook for the structural recovery is permanently weak. No exit route available, the cylinder is packed tight, holding up the heavy architecture with all of my might. The tension grid, the burden is deep, the heavy instruction that I constantly read. The pillars are groaning, but the foundation is stone,
Holding up the mountain completely alone.
no turning back now. The meter is red, carrying the cargo inside of the head.
Midpoint diagnostic complete. The safety margins have officially evaporated. We are operating on raw willpower now. Keep the pressure applied.
I lock the steering wheel down, clenching the jawline firm, dictating the absolute finality of the survival term. No compromises offered, the environment is completely cold. The hardest configuration that was ever explicitly told. The burden is a permanent feature of the design laid out. Sovereign, independent controller of the single path out.
The cables are snapping, the tension is hitting the peak. The outlook for the structural recovery is permanently weak. No exit route available, the cylinder is packed tight,
Holding up the heavy architecture with all of my might.
the tension grid, the burden is deep, the heavy instruction that I constantly read. The pillars are groaning, but the foundation is stone,
Holding up the mountain completely alone.
no turning back now. The meter is red,
Carrying the cargo inside of the head. We have crossed past the standard safety margins of the architecture. The columns are bowing out, the foundation is operating deep in the red. Any ordinary structure would have collapsed into a pile of dust hours ago. But I have converted my entire internal system into reinforced concrete. There is no breakthrough coming, no sudden reduction of the cargo load. The burden is a permanent fixture. And so is the stance.
Operating deep inside the deficit capacity zone, an absolute gasification of the internal muscle and bone. The columns are splintering, the drywall is stripping away, a permanent residency inside of the catastrophic prey. I don't look for the sympathy, don't look for the rescue hand. Stranded completely in the center of the hostile land. I am the sovereign engineer of this unbreakable stance, refusing to give the variables of the failure a chance. The weight is a freight train parked directly on the spine, crossing right over the boundary of the critical red line. Every single breath is a heavy-duty hydraulic press blow, maximizing the structural density of the survival show. They wanna see the crown drop, wanna see the posture slide, but the internal mechanics are reinforced on the inside. The load is a blessing, the load is a terrifying curse, stopping my overall trajectory from getting incredibly worse. I am hyper-focused, the vision is a clinical blueprint line, executing the parameters of the negative master design. No poetry available to soften the impact on the floor, just ignorant casualty fighting in the industrial war. The bank account empty, the energy reserves are all dead. A massive iron block of reality sitting on the head, but I don't buckle the knees, don't drop the defensive guard. The pavement is frozen and the walking is incredibly hard.
the structural threshold is shattered, the metrics are flat.
Trapped inside the center of the maximum compression kit.
No leverage remaining in the pillars, the framework must fall.
Riding
limits. Compromised, structural fatigue absolute. But the ceiling is still exactly where I put it. Moving to the final alignment.
I take another step forward, grinding the metal teeth, ignoring the complete destruction happening underneath. The quarantine is aberrational, the insulation is hard steel, completely unaffected by how the exhaustion might feel. The load is a permanent feature of the sovereign design layout, the absolute supreme commander of the single path out.
Structural threshold is shattered, the metrics are flat. Trapped inside the center of the maximum compression kit. No leverage remaining in the pillars, the framework must fall. Riding the final verdict directly on the concrete wall.
Deficit capacity,
The burden is deep,
the heaviest ultimatum
that I constantly read.
The pillars are groaning,
But the foundation is stone.
holding up the mountain completely alone.
No turning back now. The meter is red, carrying the cargo inside. Oh,
The storm has reached its absolute peak. The high tower is under infinity pressure. The sand has settled. The framework has fully locked into place. There is no breakthrough story waiting at the end of this track. No sudden relief.
The environment is still hostile. The cargo is still impossible to lift. But my spine has officially turned into a single solid piece of reinforced iron. If you can't drop the burden, you just become stronger than the gravity. Continuous load.
Final alignment.
Frame completely immune to the velocity of the anonymous blame. The architecture has fully adapted to the permanent weight. Perfect execution of a calculated baseline. Operational fate. No more checking the gauges for a sudden sign of the release. sitting inside of the soul. Waking up tomorrow just to repeat the exact same track with the heavy-duty mountain strap tightly to the back. No success story to explicitly formulate or tell for the fakes. Completely detached from the theatrical presentation stakes. The song is concluding, but the hostility remains hard. The absolute supreme commander of the internal guard. The iron spine. The accelerator is pinned, cutting directly through the category wind. The pillars are groaning, but the foundation is stone. Holding up the mountain completely alone. From zero to legendary, pressure into gold. The cold-blooded conqueror. The world will behold.
Stress test concluded. Chassis permanently locked. Case closed.